Now we're going to take equation of best fit one step further by using those equations to make predictions about different situations. So this first situation says a student who waits tables at a restaurant recorded the cost of meals and the tip left by a single diners. So they gave us our meal cost and our tip. And so we need to put this into our calculator. So we remember from yesterday, we go into stat edit or stat enter. So I've already put them in. So notice that this first column is all in my first column. So this first column is really L1. And then my second column or second row is L2. All right, so I put those all in, and it does tell me that it's a line. So that I already know what to do. I don't need to go into the y equals plot one. So I'm just going to go stat, calc, and then I know it's a line because it tells me line of best fit. So I'm going to go figure out what that line is. All right, so again, I'm going to write down my information. A equals 0.16 with rounding. B equals negative 0.30 with rounding. So as an equation, that looks like y equals 1.6x minus 0.30. All right, so that's my equation. It says if the next diner orders a meal costing $10.50, how much tip should the waiter expect to receive? So the first question says, what variable are you given? So they gave us that the meal cost was $10.50. Meal cost was X, so I'm given X. That means I must be looking for Y, and that makes sense because they asked how much was the tip. So now I need to plug my information into my line of best fit. So I'm given X, I'm given that X is equal to $10.50, so I'm going to plug that in. So Y equals 1.6, substituting $10.50 minus 0.30. You put this in your calculator, and then you get that Y equals 1.38. So that means he's going to get a $1.38 tip. All right, so in our second example, they're telling us that it's a curve of best fit. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my data. Again, we're going to use stat edit, and you can see I've already put in the data for this example. All right, so because it told us it was a curve, you don't need to do the y equals plot one. I'm just going to go into stat, calc, and then curve. This word curve also means quadratic. So I'm going to use number 5 for quadratic. All right, so then I'm going to write down my information. So I got that A is equal to negative 16, and that B is equal to 82, and that C is equal to 0. So again, I'm going to use this information. I'm going to write down my curve of best fit. So Y equals that first number, negative 16x squared, plus 82x, plus 0. But I don't need to write this plus 0, so that's just my equation. All right, so now let's go back to the question. It says when x is 5, what is y? So there's my question. So the variable I'm given is that it's x. They're giving me that it's 5. So that means I'm looking for y. So now I'm going to plug in my information. So y equals negative 16. Instead of x, we're going to write 5 plus 82. Instead of x, we're going to write 5. So then you put this in your calculator, and then you get that y is equal to 10. That is how we use equation of best fit to make predictions.